The last 2 runs have been boss relic swaps. It can't stop. The last one was so good. This one's just going to be better. Okay. So we got the Philosopher's Stone on floor 0. Gain energy at the start of your turn. All enemies start combat with 1 extra strength. 4 energy is more than 3. That's for sure. It hurts us. It definitely hurts us in Act 1 until we pick up some card draw or something to that effect. Well, I think we'll almost certainly take extra chip damage from these early floor fights. These early floor fights are very well balanced. And just 1 additional damage kind of throws that balance off. One bit of information that I think is important to share, I usually do it like once per stream, so apologies to everyone who hears me say this over and over and over again, but the 4th fight in any given act is more difficult than the first 3. It's of a higher difficulty pool. So ideally what we're looking for is 3 combats into our first elite if it's before a campfire. That way we save as much HP as possible, and we also... well, I think that's the biggest thing. Is probably just HP. The 4th combat ideally is after a bonfire. You can tell it's getting late. Is after a bonfire because we get an upgrade. Maybe we get a helpful relic from an elite. Who knows? But unfortunately for us, we have only 4 combat paths, and we're bottlenecked into an elite every single time. So even though we have 4 energy, this may not go well for us. We'll take probably an event last. Go this way into this potential 3 elite path. Worst case scenario, we duck off over here and take a shop. If we make it that far. We'll see. Whew. I'm still like a little rattled from that last one. So good. Oh my goodness. Chance at a footwork, a crippling cloud, and an all-out attack. They're incredible choices. Probably crippling cloud? Especially through 4 combats. I think we want that more than anything. Is E4. Ooh. Skewer and Quick Slash. Quick Slash for the cycle, Skewer for just the front-loaded damage with 4 energy. I think it's Skewer early. This is going to be 28 damage. Basically, always get a kill after this. Yes. Ghost in a jar as well. Wow. And I think Blur becomes a real possibility on 4 energy. It does a lot for us. We can potentially get to a Blur-Arcade if we find a few more of those. And honestly, as far as 4th combats go, this one's not so bad. Sometimes you get the acid or spike slime that splits at half HP. And I think that one's probably the worst. Sometimes it just hits you for, 18 on turn 1. What are you supposed to do, dude? Some of our money's back. Chance at a backflip? Sure. Guess. So the issue with this is Gremlin Knob. So if we remove a strike, the only attack we've added so far is Skewer, and it's a good attack, but everything else is skills. So that's spooky. I think our ideal open is with Crippling Cloud. Otherwise, we do maintain 10 block into next turn here. It's very slow, though. Like, we don't do hardly any damage. I don't actually know how we kill this guy. Or if we can in time. It'll be close. I think we're taking maybe 2 debuffs unless we cycle around really hard to skewer a few times. Hey, Draken Cool. Been a while. Yeah, this is kind of a yikes. Are just under, like, oh no. This is a very real problem. We might actually just die here. Oh no. 0, nice. Carry that 2 block over. So let me see if we have anything that actually does damage. Skewer technically does 4, right? It's like never works. We just die. We died a Lagavulin? What? Okay, I'm gonna run it back. That was super unsatisfying. We didn't find the attacks. We found only 1 skewer. I mean, I took what we were given. All right, let's well, that wasn't a very good one. Have a good night, Tabisco. Our boss now. Guardian. Oh, it's back. The letter opener, and we actually don't snipe our elite here. The 0 poison catalyst. That is my signature move. I think we have to go for it. Yes. We picked up dash and dagger spray with 0 potions. So I think if we go to this elite, we trade away a fair amount of HP. But maybe sometimes it works out. Ideally, we're proccing letter opener next turn. No. Oh, I was meant to strike there. See, this is what I was talking about earlier about like playing slower. Makes a huge difference. Sometimes we draw a dash strike next turn. That works too. If this is 3 damage, takes it to 19. We never kill with 2 strikes, so we just always kill this guy. Be done with him. We don't have 3 skills either to kill it with letter opener. please. Meat on the bone. Just a moment too late. Chance at an Adrenaline. Adrenaline's a skill as well as an all-around awesome card for letter opener. Yeah. Toy Ornithopter, allowing us to heal 5 HP after we use a potion. Oh, this guy again. I remember this guy. So this is a really good open for us. I think we want to put Dash in the draw pile for when it's awake, though. And ideally, we're burning Catalyst and Ascender's Bane before we open it. Or wake him up. Our open next turn, it really sucks. Really close to a full block, but we just don't do any damage here. So we end up in the exact same situation as we were in the last run, where we just don't outscale Lagavulin before it's too late. Then again, if we open with literally nothing, it's probably worse. Use this skill pot to dig for poison for Catalyst too. It's not it. It's the hardest elite of Act 1. I would actually argue that the Gremlin Knob is the hardest elite of Act 1. I think most people end up building their decks around potentially facing the Gremlin Knob. Dang, Dagger Spire is so good there. So that's what my gut tells me anyway, is that that's the hardest. Maybe I was supposed to Dagger Spray there. Why am I struggling so much on that? Okay. Anyway, chance at a leg sweep and a quick slash. Do love a leg sweep going into the Guardian. We'll keep him weak for a very long time. These don't all attack me this turn. To be expected, I suppose. 8. You think it's the Catalyst? I don't know. It's certainly a possibility. I won't rule it out. Good. Funny. I guess a real memer would take the L here. Someday we'll get the Catalyst to proc on some poison, and it'll all make sense. Quick shout out to Meat on the Bone, by the way. I don't actually mind using the fire potion here. We don't really... So we probably do need it for Guardian, don't we? Oh, God. This run's struggling. Having a hard time getting this one off the ground. Alright, I think we need this. Also puts us at exactly half HP for Meat on the Bone. Not poison. Okay, well. Yeah, that kind of sucks. So I took the Cloak and Dagger for letter opener plus Vajra value, basically. We could upgrade it here, but there's going to be a lot of turns where we just can't use it. May still be worth the upgrade, though. It's basically an extra 5 damage, whereas this is an extra 4. Also, sometimes we just end up with shivs in our deck that we can't do anything with, though. Okay, my dude. Maybe digging for poison in the skill potion again. Okay. So currently we block for not quite 27. Both Adrenaline and Doppelganger exhaust. So this doesn't help us very much in this fight. It's going to take forever if we end up winning. Thanks, letter opener. It will absolutely take 3 damage now to get Catalyst out of the deck for good. Not having to draw it will almost certainly save us that much HP in the future. But you know, odds are good that we do come across some poison in the next act. Actually, you know what? Maybe Dagger Spray was the better upgrade over Leg Sweep? Because that would have been 14 damage. We need to do 20, which we can do. We've got 10, 17, more than 20. I mean, we're getting there. I think we do end up taking the debuff, though, so this is going to be one of the scarier parts of the fight. We just happened to fall behind. In terms of damage, we couldn't quite get through the mode shift. Do this? I used up all my my good anecdotes during the hard fight in the last run. I'm sorry, I tapped out. Boop. Nice. Slow and steady. Perfect meat on the bone proc. Pick up a power potion, chance at a die adrenaline and corpse explosion. Poison. Love poison. You've gotta do. Okay. It's got an achievement. PogChamp. Get 20 people chatting at the same time to unlock additional VIP badges. We've done it. Must have come in late. I don't think there's 20 people actively chatting right now. I may be mistaken. Yeah, dude, this is the speed run. This is the one we've all been waiting for. All right, let's hit this early shop. We could actually go to 2 with as much money as we have, but I'll bank on this one. We could take 2 combats into it for extra money with Golden Idol, but I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I don't think this deck is particularly strong. I want a corpse explosion to strip the artifact here. I think Dash Plus is our better block card right now. The issue with Runic Pyramid 3 energy is always fix. Getting rid of like strikes, so we haven't gotten rid of any of our base strikes, and we can't actually clear enough hand space on 3 energy to get rid of them, to draw through to the stuff that we actually want and need to deal with the fight that we're on. So that is going to be our struggle for definitely this fight. Maybe beyond. Maybe I was supposed to Corpse Explosion for Piercing Wail next turn. We can still do it, but... But I was hoping to draw some weak. Yikes. Oh my God. Maybe we were supposed to use the power potion. God, I've done it. Classic 5-strike hand. Okay, so 6 times 2 is 12. We're not actually even quite there yet. But we can start to set it up by finally applying some weak so we can deal with the this turn and then the subsequent turn as well. Much more mana. Oh, we've done it. Hard carry by meat on the bone right now. Dodge and roll plus without any dexterity is not something that I think we need right now. Outmaneuver can help a lot in these situations, so we could outmaneuver into an adrenaline to help dump our hand. Though still using a outmaneuver on 3 energy can be challenging, even though we have Runic Pyramid. Yes, thank you. Offer Golden Idol, obtain a special relic. Lose Golden Idol. Never been happier to do that. Apparition. I mean, we have to, right? Apparitions Runic Pyramid is a golden combo. We have to get them upgraded. So maybe that changes our pathing. I don't know. Gotta do that. We do lose some current HP, which is always a little sad. The boule time. We do take the bullet time. May actually need deadly poison for the catalyst. Who's our boss, by the way? Bronze Automaton. That's kind of scary. The apparitions are going to help a lot there if we can actually get them upgraded. Just straight block the hyper beam. I was eyeing up that sneaky strike, but we only have Survivor to actually discard, so I don't think it's worth it. 26 cards now that we've added in 3 apparitions, so the deck is a little scary. It's got a lot of junk in it. All right, let's see what happens here and then make our decision. It's a no. Okay, so we could take an elite at the cost of a campfire. Couple 3 elite paths too. Let's go big. I guess that's good. Oh, we could have done bullet time. Playing too quickly. We've done it. Do we ever want to play down our hand here? So this is going to do 48 damage to all. We can also just play down our hand next turn. We just need to get this one very slightly low. Yeah, we'll do it next turn. And we'll clear out some hand space with letter opener. Pretty certain we have the kill just next turn. Got him. Pick up an oddly smooth stone for +1 dex. Chance at an after image and a crippling cloud. Have both, please. Maybe after image is worse with the apparitions and 3 energy. Let's do crippling cloud for now. Also, just a calculated gamble plus there was pretty good with runic pyramid. It allows us to actually save our unupgraded apparitions if we don't want to use them that turn. Maybe if I had thought longer, I could have been convinced to take that instead. Yeah. GG, nerds. That corpse explosion is doing work. The apparition is also obviously a great take. A second crippling cloud. We have so much stuff to upgrade though. Oh no. Snecko plus Runic Pyramid is kind of a classic oh no situation. For this guy. But we have bullet time. And we want a bullet time, though? Not really, but we also can't get rid of this stuff, and we want to draw new stuff next turn, so I'm going to go one more turn, because we can Survivor away one of these high-cost defends, and then maybe just burn the Piercing Whale. Just in case. A Dex Potion, chance at an all-out attack, a Cloak and Dagger. We will on all of that. A Whetstone. Sometimes it's neutralized, sometimes it's Dagger Spray. Almost always just a strike upgrade, though. Sapphire Key. And feels slightly unsure. Sure if right. We are basically just digging really hard for the corpse explosion at this point. Okay, maybe we just end up doing that next turn. Here's some hand space. Okay. Good fight. We actually took damage, though. Spooky. All right, so our Flaming Elite is either going to be Gremlin Leader or the Book of Stabs. I think in all future versions of this deck, we need to have the Apparitions upgraded. Hey, Franker Z. Welcome back. So our Flaming Elite is Gremlin Leader with plus strength. Honestly, not too bad. It's too bad. Considering the Gremlin Leader... Yeah. Considering this Gremlin Leader gains strength every turn anyway, this is an ideal boss for us. So we can Corpse Explosion the Gremlin Wizard next turn to kill both of these summons. And the Gremlin Leader isn't even attacking, so... GG nerds. We lose this Apparition, though. We have one more to go through. What's the worst bonus a Gremlin Leader can have? I guess it depends on... Maybe it depends on the character you're playing, more so than anything. Maybe. Because I'm thinking, like, if you were on an Ironclad run without any strength bonuses, and you ran into a Gremlin Leader with Metallicize or something like that, that could be bad. Oh, did I miss the discard? Not bad. Okay. These both die next turn, but yeah, we'll take one out now. Oof. Actually, no, we're just fine. Hermione's dead. But I think the scariest Act 2 Flaming Elites, which is why a lot of people avoid them, is like Book of Stabbing with plus strength, or also just Slavers with plus strength, or Slavers with regen, if you don't have a lot of upgraded like Crippling Clouds or something like that, or an Electrodynamics. A lot of people skip this second act Flaming Elite. Act 3 Giant Head with plus health is absolutely a yikes, I agree. So we can choose to either upgrade both of our Apparitions here and be good for future acts, or we just kind of don't. And go for this Elite over here. The last two Elites have been fine, so it's not a matter of if we can take this Elite. I think we probably can. But what's more valuable, like the two upgrades or a single relic and card reward and gold? Probably the upgraded Apparitions, right? I think so anyway. Especially for the Bronze Automaton, who we need... I mean, we're not killing him super quickly. So we're going to need some way to actually deal with the Hyper Beam once, maybe even twice. Hopefully not twice, but maybe. Oh, I did that wrong. Alright, well, we'll hang on to dash then. Say oops. What's the plus HP percent? Is it 25 or 30? I forget. It sometimes changes based on the act that you... Like, the bonuses change and get more difficult per act. Like, I think in Act 2, the Elites get plus 2 strength, but by Act 3, they get plus 4? Pretty sure. So, yeah, the The giant head gets up to... how much? It's like 500 or 600 some HP, something like that. I can't remember. It's a huge number though. Yeah, the Watcher mechanics hurting your brain. You are not alone. I think Watcher math is complicated. It hurts a lot of people's brains. It hurts my brain. Deadly poison, I don't think so. We're looking for something like a bouncing flask at this point. Not that. Yeah, the Watcher seems to have a very high skill ceiling, which is really appealing for a lot of players, but I certainly understand the brain hurting. Sorry. Speaking of brain hurting, I think it's Tools of the Trade, so we can discard some junk. I was meant to wait there. I was really digging for like a noxious fumes. So we either Corpse Explosion the Bronze Automaton to remove both charges of Artifact, or we keep Corpse Explosion for the orbs. The Orby boys. I think we want to be able to apply Weak for the first 4 turns or so. No Boule time for this guy. No, we actually need the bullet time. I think each of the characters has their own pretty unique playstyle. So you'll find a commonality between a lot of players that they tend to gravitate towards one character or another, and you kind of end up with a favorite, whichever happens to be your favorite. Mine was the Silent personally. I tend to do a lot better on the Silent than many of the other characters for that reason. Like Piercing Whale here, right? Piercing Whale. Good dash. Trying to get bullet time out of this orb. Sure. That's kind of the good thing about the game is like if you do find a character, you can stick with it and learn a lot of the stuff on that character. And, you know, some of that, a lot of that translates to other characters as well, so it's not a total loss. Especially learning the enemy mechanics and attack patterns and things like that helps quite a lot. I think this is an apparition. Yeah. So our only other poison is actually Corpse Explosion, and now it's in our discard pile. So Deadly Poison Catalyst here is one of our bigger sources of damage, as sad as it is. Which means we get rid of... what? On all of this. Yeah, that's a good way to go. I'm actually not a huge fan of the unlock relics and card thing that goes on early in the game. Like, eventually, like, it just takes a few runs to unlock all of them. And I guess your first time through, it's kind of exciting to see what they all do, and they don't want to give you too much choice, maybe, is their philosophy. I don't really know. But yeah. Certainly trying new cards, trying new combos. That's going to be your best way to just get better at the game, for sure. Save that. But I think the nicest thing I can say about Slay the Spire is that it's always felt worth the time, in that you know, the more I learn about the game, the more I'm able to directly apply in the future, and it's just kind of a satisfying feeling to be able to play a game that has that high of a skill ceiling. I make mistakes. I've played this game for hundreds and hundreds of hours, and I still make mistakes every single run. And I honestly, I think that's one of the best parts about the game. It's 36. We would take 2 here. I think that is unacceptable. Keep our Centennial puzzle unprocced, thank you very much. Oh. Right. We might actually be able to save our apparition here. I'm not going to bother to do math. This might be off. It's not. Gross. This deck's really come together with the Runic Pyramid. Runic Pyramid is by far my favorite relic in the game. GG. Bronze Automaton. Here's just the boot. Yeah, it's been so long since I've unlocked the cards. Honestly, I don't remember which ones you actually unlocked, so it's hard for me to say, like, if they do actually prevent you from going down certain paths with cards due to the unlocks, but I could see that being useful, for sure. Take the after image, I guess. The Slaver's Collar, a Black Star, and a Cursed Key. Well, I do think we want Fort Energy in this deck. That's for sure. It's just a matter of if we need it for the floor fights or not. And I think we've been doing really well on the floor fights, even without having our Crippling Clouds and Poison stuff upgraded. The Apparitions alone have been carrying us pretty hard. So I'm kind of leaning towards the Slaver's Collar. Or take the wheel. It's not here. I can't. Not an option. I'm going to try the Slaver's Collar. Slaver's Collar says, during boss and elite combats, gain energy at the start of your turn. So during hallway fights, we will not have extra energy. We'll just be on 3. And then in elite combats and bosses, we'll have 4. I think that'll work out. We're looking for some kind of maybe like discard mechanic, like a concentrate. We did have Tools of the Trade last fight, and that helped a lot. So yeah, concentrate, maybe in acrobatics. I don't know. At 261 Spire bucks, we can actually make a choice whether we want an early or late shop. Personally, would take a late shop. Take 2 along an okay path. There actually is a 4 elite path here. So we have elite, campfire elite, elite, some events, and then another elite. I think I'll not do that. Go over here. $21 damage. Ouch. We bleed. Question mark. This is 20. I think I see next turn. Next turn's like Apparition Dagger Spray. Yeah, that's pretty good. Get our deadly down on that dude. Huh. Like after you play a card, change its cost kind of thing? Is that the idea? Kind of interesting. This is the issue with 3 energy. We really want to get this footwork down. So I'm just hoping that in the future we'll be a-okay. It only take 3 damage. Like, I can't really complain. Is it another catalyst? We don't have the first one upgraded, but sure. It's Twisted Funnel. Love Twisted Funnel. We need the second Piercing Well for sure. Is Twisted Funnel better than Strike Remove? So Twisted Funnel is only ever Artifact Remove on Donu and Deka and the Act 4 Elites. Kind of helpful elsewhere though. I just like it a lot. Really like it. I'm not saying it was the best choice, but it was a choice. I don't know what Madness really does for us, honestly. We have Bullet Time already. Ooh, there you go. Yes, every relic you're offered is Astrolabe, and you have to take it. There's a really good idea. I like that one a lot. That's the winner. Hey, retreat, retreat. Do you have enough points to take back the throne? I think it's still a mega weapon. Anyway, so I'm thinking either we take the Madness or trace our steps. I don't think we need the Madness, though, with the Bullet Time. It's kind of garbage. I don't really want to go to 34 cards. To some degree, we're struggling to do this thing that we're already doing. Like, it's working. We're hardly taking any damage. But we also haven't had to go through a really difficult combat yet, like a transient fight, and we have the Apparitions at the bottom of our deck. Is a thought. Like, probably. Okay, Enlightenment, Discovery, Violence, Master of Strategy, Mayhem, Thinking Ahead, Madness. We'll take the Master of Strategy. Sometimes it works after Bullet Time. Thinking Ahead is very similar. It's basically just card draw for us. It doesn't matter as much with Runic Pyramid, but it is, like I said, it is card draw for free. At worst, it cycles itself, unless we go against like Time Eater, and then it also does kind of proc Beat of Death, which, I don't know. I don't know if that matters. We're digging for an Apparition. I'd rather have Thinking Ahead. I guess it procs letter opener. So that's a thing. We could take a discovery for the memes. $35 cards and 3 apparitions. What could possibly go wrong? Something amazing? Storm of Steel is not the thing we're looking for. Okay, so this goes to 1819. Let's do this. Really just looking for that bullet time, I think. Now we need that concentrate so badly, too. Man, maybe we should have Catalyst on, like, 6. We have another turn to do it. The fight is slowly getting out of hand. Draws 2. Nice. Okay. Oh, he's dead. That. Drakthar, thank you very much for the follow, by the way. Sorry, I missed it a minute ago. Say Floyder. Maybe. Thank you very much for the follow as well. Sure. I don't know. I don't know about this anymore. Not willing to say it's falling apart, but the 36 cards is way too many. Upgrading a specific card here just feels a bit strange. Nice. Because we need so many to actually make it work. Like, we have to cycle through the whole deck, so... I mean, I think Catalyst is the biggest power spike that we have there. Okay. Double this to 6. Feels awful. We also have Duplication Potion for the Catalyst. This fight could easily get out of hand. Need to get better draws going. Just draw better. Actually don't need to bullet time here because we can just defend Catalyst Strike. Almost have a full draw. Okay. There we go. Now this is the bullet time. Okay, so do we need... I think we do need the duplication potion. If we triple this, it goes to 75. Don't think... Well, it needs to be higher than that for us to be successful here. Probably never piercing well at this point. Obviously overkill, but better that than trying to go for, no, however many additional turns. Lacking so much poison to actually stack. Like you saw there, we got to 3 poison or 4 poison with Twisted Funnel. We need to get Catalyst and these Crippling Clouds upgraded. I think I'm actually going to recall here just in case things go exceptionally poorly. This is kind of interesting. We could bottle Master of Strategy to always have a full hand on turn 1, or we could just make sure we have bullet time in our hand so we can dump the hand and draw a full hand on the second turn. Spooky, though. Reptomancer is very scary here. We do not kill things quickly. We could also just bottle an Apparition just to be safe. Bottle the Catalyst for Twisted Funnel to go to 12 poison. No, no, it's relevant. 12 poison is relevant considering we don't have a lot of upgraded poison cards here. It's totally valid. My issue with that idea is we're fighting Donu and Deka first, and the Act 4 elites are also not going to have their artifacts stripped in time. So the upgraded Catalyst, although it's one of our win conditions, it doesn't do anything in upcoming fights, potentially. But it would be very helpful against the next 2 elites. So, or we could also go here if this goes poorly. So either we're fighting Floaty Boy or the Run Runer herself, the Reptomancer. We're sure taking the bottle, though. Yeah, Corpse Explosion. I have the same problem with Corpse Explosion, is that it doesn't break through the artifact on Donu and Deka. It removes all of the artifact with the Twisted Funnel. I don't know. I'm going to do the bullet time with the knowledge that it might not be correct. Hey, Corpse Explosion. Brings you to 10, you take 9, that's 19 over 2 turns. Oh. That's a thing of beauty. We for sure use this Catalyst here just to get the poison going. Block for 12, do 25 damage to all next turn. We'll hang on to this defend, I suppose. Have an Apparition just in case things go really badly with the Reptomancer here itself. All 3 Apparitions? Okay. I guess we'll use one. 36 damage. 32 damage. How much block is this with defend? So you go down to 6, 3.2, 4. So that's 24. We go to 18, 19. We block for enough. We proc letter opener. I don't know if that's relevant. But I would like to save my apparitions if we can. Not. Okay. Good fight, Snake Lady. How about a meal ticket? Attack potion. And some junk. Yeah, finisher's no good. Oh, we're not even offered 999 gold. I don't really like how this one's variable. I am healthy. Heal to full HP, but become cursed with doubt. It is only a single curse. So it's a bit safer, but still, I think we'll just do the Act 1 boss. This is upgraded cards, ever a thought? Man, I have a really hard time taking that event. I'm trying to think if I ever have. Never heal again. Like, I haven't taken that in a long time since I've been doing heart runs. I didn't actually even consider it. In this deck where we've taken basically 0 damage the entire time, if we had an entire deck upgraded, it would have been interesting. We haven't procced Centennial Puzzle since like mid-Act 2. Well, no, I think maybe we took 2 damage early here. Yeah, we took like 2 damage early on. I like that idea. Like I said, I didn't actually consider it that much. Don't know these numbers off the top of my head. Let's do this. Yeah, I think the biggest struggle with this deck that we've had anyway is the lack of upgrades. So having I think it's a really good idea, and I have some regrets depending on the relic. I have some regrets. Deadly? No, it's like way too late. Tactician probably never goes off, right? We have no discard. Yeah, basically no discard. Ooh. Alchemize is interesting. Noxious is good. We just take Alchemize. Yup. Why did Bloody Idol heal me there? I mean, we were at full HP, but it made the sound. We didn't get gold. Did we? Oh, wait, ceramic fish. Ceramic fish. Oh, that's why. That makes sense. I didn't even notice that. Meme Stab alone might get us through this first turn. That's right, this isn't an elite. Silly me. Yeah, I actually hadn't considered it. We weren't taking any damage, so I didn't even notice Ceramic Fish Bloody Idol before. And I don't get Bloody Idol that often, so it was cool. I like it. We took damage? What? I don't really want this defend, right? Basically just want our Apparitions and Catalysts. Concentrate was block. Forgot about that. It's always sad when you get tough bandages. I feel like tough bandages is like, it should say really rare. Exceptionally rare. Hardly ever see it anymore. This is always worse. Guess we'll keep that. If we're blocking for 6, though, I think we're in a pretty bad spot. All right. We go to 22, you take 11. We take a hit here. Yeah, take 4. It's a little spooky. So we can Apparition... We can't Apparition Corpse Explosion Catalyst because this is clearly not an elite fight. Taking 80 damage. But Catalyst alone, I guess, gets it to about 60, 57 poison. Or we could just apply Catalyst next turn after we do Corpse Explosion this turn. Seems better. Sure. Here's Saran, thank you very much for the follow as well. Turns out this turn was free. Doesn't really matter. It's so sad that I'm considering a third Catalyst because of how little poison we actually have. We don't have the Noxious Fumes, we don't have the Bouncing Flask, our Crippling Clouds and Deadly Poisons aren't upgraded. It heals us for 2. We're at 37 cards though. I think that's our biggest problem. We either go Elite or Shop next. We might actually just have to take the Shop for removal of a strike. We could have. I don't actually value this attack push in very highly. That's fair. Be full HP right now. Full HP anyway. Preserved Insect and Bag of Prep. And a Catalyst. Wow. Well, remember we have a Bullet Time on turn 1. So we would have a 9-card hand with Bullet Time. If we take Bag of Prep. I think we have to do that. I don't know if we have another choice. That's just too good. Pass. All right, we have the Triforce complete. So what are we looking to actually upgrade here? Either one of our base poison cards to make one of our 3 catalysts that much better, or one of our catalysts to triple that poison. At this point in the game, I don't know which one's better. You could also just do our footwork or some extra block. We haven't needed it that much, but there's always a potential that it could save us from a bad turn, so we could save an Apparition. Like After Image Innate. I don't know. That doesn't seem very good, but it would be some good block for us. We'll have 4 energy for the rest of the run, so having the extra block from After Image would be interesting. Kind of just interesting. Also a Neutralize upgrade to make sure that the weakness doesn't fall off of our enemies. We do have 2 Crippling Clouds, but like I said, the 2 enemies that I'm worried about right now, between Donu and Deka and the Act 4 elites, we have to get through their artifact. Catalyst, I guess. Yes. Man, what do you do about this? So we obviously want to play the Corpse Explosion, so I don't want to use it here. The rest of our hand is super bad. We could purposely, like, we could play an Apparition, play Bullet Time, and purposely play down basically just the 2 strikes. We could maybe play the Catalyst for 0 value too, just for the extra card draw. Because if we Apparition dash strike, I guess that allows us to draw 5 next turn. But Centennial Puzzle's wasted then. That's a tough choice. Like, the alternative is to kill them without Corpse Explosion, but then we end up going through at least 2 of our 3 catalysts just to kill Donu, and it ends up being like a really painfully slow experience to get through the Deka. Okay. Well, this is a lot better. How much is this? 19? So we kind of have to Apparition here. Always do this. So maybe just defend Apparition to proc the letter opener. You remembered. He's done it. Am I a movie buff? I would not consider myself a movie buff. Sorry to say. Sure. Which movie in particular were you hoping to chat about? There's a non-zero chance I've seen it, heard of it, could chat about it. $1917? Sorry. Have not heard of that one. But from what I've heard, at least so far, it's exceptionally good. Admittedly, you're my only source of information on the topic right now, but you know. Yeah. I don't know what I'm still doing here. All right. The Bird with Arms. We have one singular power in this deck. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Two, I guess we have footwork too. We can use we can save a Piercing Whale for the Piercing Whale trick. That's worth doing. So if the goal here is to use bullet time on turn 1, which I think we should. I think that means that we strike Master of Strategy first. I'm at 23, yes. Dead on turn 2. And either we take 16 here, or we use one of our apparitions. Take 16, we go to 9 HP. I don't really want to use an apparition this early, though. Or do I want to use one of our Piercing Whales? I only have 3 apparitions. So you get 5 bites, but you only get 3 apparitions. So it's kind of a question of if I feel like from here on out we'll be totally fine and not taking damage. Because we could go to 9 here, and that's fine. Like, we can hang on to the apparition. I honestly don't think that's that big of a deal because we have a meal ticket for Act 4, so we're going to heal to full anyway. Taking some extra damage here honestly doesn't matter. So I'm going to say this is fine. Worst case, we just play the apparition next turn and okay. Is what it is. Do not need to do that though. Do so very much wish that we had some discard, though. This doesn't count. Because next turn should be the multi-attack turn, and we are not set up for success there. This is one of our catalysts, I think. I think we were meant to use this last turn. Take an extra 1 here. This might be an apparition. We could choose to use one of our Piercing Whales here. Piercing Whale, defend, allows us to save these apparitions, and I am hanging on to them pretty tight. I don't want to use them yet. I was meant to discard an apparition there. Well. So the other issue with this deck is the poison. We only have Deadly Poison and Corpse Explosion left to actually apply poison. So at best, we are currently doubling and tripling 11 poison. So the next phase is exceptionally slow. By the time we get footwork down and burn some of these apparitions, we'll be able to cycle through to more block. So this first phase is just a little awkward. We'll go next turn though. I mean, footwork is usually worth it anyway. Just see a black screen? I think if you just see a black screen, you may just need to refresh. I think it's fine. Unless anyone else can confirm. Yeah, it looks fine on mine end as well. Not sure. This is 13. Apparition next turn. Okay, Alchemized value is decent here as well. I want to save our Dex Potion for Act 4. Liquid Memories probably matters the least. I kind of want to save Liquid Memories in case we have Bullet Time or Deadly Poison, Corpse Explosion in the discard pile, because we could play Corpse Explosion, Liquid Memories, back the Corpse Explosion, and that alone could start our Catalyst chain for Phase 2. I have 15 block here. Why am I not using footwork? I see your question, Crush Thoughty. It'll take me a second to think of it, honestly. I'm going to put it in the back of the old brain. I'll come back to that after this fight, maybe. I'm not using my footwork because it's a power. And every time I play a power in the first phase of this fight, you can see Curiosity on the list. Whenever you play a power card, it gains 2 strength. So if I play footwork, the fight gets more difficult unless I'm drawing a lot of additional block cards, which we're currently not. So we're going to use a trick with Piercing Whale when the Awakened One goes over into Phase 2 to... Yikes. To deal with that. I'll maybe explain it when we get there. Sorry, I'm trying to think about this movie thing. I'm not very good at this. I really liked a movie called Cashback when I was younger, but it's not particularly good. Like I can't call it my favorite movie. I know there is one. There's one that I've seen like 100 times, and I just can't think of it. Yeah, maybe it'll come to me. I mean, I don't want to say something like Shaun of the Dead, because that's not like favorite movie category. It's like, I love that movie, but I don't think it's favorite movie category. Oh, these turns are so sad. So this should be the multi-attack? Yeah. It's 24. Something amazing. Piercing Whale. I know Concentrate is the discard thing that I was kind of asking for, but after this first phase, I think we'll need it a lot less because we'll be burning a lot of these cards that are just kind of stuck there that we need around. Piercing Whale is also that card. But I don't know. I like having it around. We could use Piercing Whale right now to save 3 hit points. Only draw 2 next turn. I think next turn is probably either Apparition or Piercing Whale. Oh, Dear Saran, thank you very much for the follow. I can't remember if I thanked you or not. Yeah, I'm sorry to say if it's just the stream and it's working for everyone else and I don't see a problem, I don't know if I have a solution. Sorry, man. If I did, I would help. We're only doing 14 damage a turn and our poison is ticking down. We might be in a position where we have to use one of these catalysts just to get through the end of the fight, because we have no other damage. This is like super awkward. Don't really... I don't know. Go next turn. We take 3. This is so bad. I think maybe we're just forced to use the other catalyst here. Otherwise, this fight goes on basically forever, and we have failed to draw through to our week because we're hanging on to too many cards. We may actually have to use our Dex Potion too to deal with this. So if we Dex Potion, this goes to 8, we block for 15, we take 1. And then we can alchemize to get that out of our hands. Sure. Colorless Potion... not help that much. Okay. All right, so the Piercing Whale trick. So it works on this fight as well as on the Time Eater fight. Anything that changes phases like that. It's kind of strange, though. So we haven't played any additional powers this fight, but if we had, all the additional strength here that gets reduced by a card like Piercing Whale or Dark Shackles that you'll see. So it goes into a negative value. And at the end of this fight, what the Awakened One is going to do is remove all of its debuffs, and then it's going to start phase 2. And at the start of phase 2, shuffle their deck. At the start of phase 2, since all the debuffs are gone, it's also going to remove the Shackled debuff, which you can kind of see in the top left there. At the end of its turn, gains 6 strength. So it'll remove that debuff, basically. So it will not gain 6 strength. So it won't stay at a negative value, but it'll go back to 0. So we'll basically have wiped away all of the plus strength that we will have given the Awakened one, and we're free to basically put this to 0, so we don't have to play these powers next turn and we can clear out our hand. As long as this stays at 0, we're fine. Okay, in search of Corpse Explosion, so we can do this Liquid Memories thing. Hey. Yeah, because currently if we just Catalyst this, it goes to 30. And that's a slow and painful death, I Chemex Whirlwind, I have a run where I got, I don't think I had Chemex. I had Whirlwind plus Akabiko, and that was a very fun run. But congrats on the Heart Boop. Sometimes you end up with a really strong Ironclad run like that, and it's really good, but it can be hard to outrace the heart sometimes. Like you end up with all this block and stuff, but, or excuse me, damage, but you don't have the block. One. Thank you, Tough Bandages. We haven't even used one of these apparitions. We were like way too risky with our HP in the first phase, but I guess, you know, it made this phase that much easier. Not so spooky bird. GG. All right, move off into the 4th act here. Choose one final upgrade. And I don't know. Based on that last experience, it may just have to be this other catalyst so we can use this minimal poison that we have and just start tripling. Do it. We got 56 Spire bucks. We can maybe buy a potion? Buy a Piercing Whale. I think Piercing Whale is probably better than Lex Potion. Definitely. Alright, Act 4 Elites. Okay. A really good open here. Draw and play a ton of cards. Just have to make sure we end at 3, basically. This. Next turn, I think we'll want an Apparition. Taking 21, 30. Hold on. 21, 33 damage this turn. We block for. Close to enough. We'll apply weak with the Crippling Cloud, too. Is relevant. All right. 15, 23. We'll keep Survivor for next turn just in case we are able to block it all. We can discard some of the burns. So we only block for 15 damage here. We're taking 28. Spooky. Admittedly, Apparition this turn is also spooky. Let's see here, 1428. I'm going to take the hit. We have Centennial Puzzle, so we get a really big draw here. And we have Apparition for this turn if we happen to need it, which might. So just have a lot of poison that we could apply. So we have 5, 15, 45. Not a lot. We have some. I think we have, I mean, I know we have 2 apparitions for two piercing wells for next turn, so maybe it is correct to do the apparition here and just plan on maybe piercing well. That allows us to deadly poison, catalyst. Maybe it was actually correct to put the poison on the spear. I have a few turns to draw the Corpse Explosion. And Master of Strategy in hand. Hey. Okay, so this is only 125 damage. We're actually not safe here. Not even a little bit. I mean, yeah, so Master of Strategy into an Apparition is what we'd like to do for sure. Crippling Catalyst. Oh, is that it? Yeah, that's exact lethal. It makes me super paranoid doing plays like that, though. I just feel like I'm going to mess something up. I don't know why. So, Jibadine said, if we Crippling Cloud and then turn and Catalyst the Spire Spear, that is 12 damage, and then it'll take 12 damage from the Corpse Explosion. It feels too good to be true. I can't explain it. So paranoid. Hey. It worked. Or Calcum, chance at a fire potion. Could potentially take a prepared. I don't really like it. We're on 40 cards right now. Well, 39. So it's a question of if we want colorless potion or fire potion. I think fire potion does like next to nothing on the hard fight. For sure want poison. For sure. Colorless could be an apparition. It's the dream. We'll pass on this stuff. All right, Heart. One more good one for the night. Yeah, colorless could be Apotheosis. I don't know if I actually want to use it here because we miss out on 5 healing. That could potentially be really important. Colorless cannot be... Did I say Apparition? I meant Apotheosis. Sorry, it's getting really late for me. The brain is not... It's not working. It's trying. We could also Acrobatics. Bullet Time. It only draws 2. We take 2 damage, but that makes Colorless Potion a lot easier to actually feel good about using. It's a bit late. If it does happen to be Apotheosis, we miss out on, I guess, just 1 extra card. That's correct. Wow. We actually don't take damage because of tough bandages. I forgot about that. Nice. Yeah, we could have also just saved Acrobatics, yeah, for sure. We're going to do something a little different, though. Okay. Oh, that's so bad. I actually messed this turn up. I think I was supposed to Survivor first. Well, we can just Bullet Time next turn. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Basically, we just want to get Crippling Cloud down and get rid of all this other junk. But we can do that next turn. So we could Crippling Cloud next turn, so we have 2 turns of weak. Yeah, that's better. Okay, I know the play. Very slow turn 1, though. Admittedly. Actually not how I wanted for this to go. So the plan was to use Centennial Puzzle to draw 3 on this turn. We can still do it. I think, but it's kind of weird. It also involves not using Bullet Time, so it's like Survivor, Apparition, Discovery, and then we take no. Survivor, Discovery, Neutralize. And then we take 1, and we still have Adrenaline. Tough bandages, dude. I totally forgot about tough bandages. Ah. Still works, right? To Bullet Time. Does that change it though? Do we just blur here instead? Yeah, we may just use the bullet time now and then get a Centennial Puzzle draw next turn. Yeah. That's the play. Okay. Or we could just draw with Apparition or Centennial Puzzle this turn. I don't know what's correct. No, we don't want to do that anymore because we have Piercing Wail on the top of the deck now. Yeah. Okay, so maybe that was wrong then. I don't know. I think it's still fine. Zero cost bullet time. I'm being so greedy with the Centennial Puzzle. We should just use it now. I don't know why I'm being so greedy with it. Let's save Master Strategy for next turn. Well, we always do this. Oh, we had such good block though. What am I hoping the pot is? I'm hoping it's 5 HP, basically. Four, 3, 2, 1. So leg sweep is worth it here too. Kind of. We can just play with bullet time next turn. We can be more efficient with our energy. So we can do dodge and roll, slimed. Maybe just get rid of this defend. Sure. Really needed these catalysts this turn. Corpse Explosion is going to be really hard to get off on future turns, but we have to basically do Corpse Explosion or Crippling Cloud so we can Piercing Wail away the multi-attack. And then for the big attack, we have to draw into one of our Apparitions. And to do that, we have to dump our hand, basically. Unfortunately, we have, like, nothing left to play. We can, like... We don't want to bullet time this hand. But if we bullet time, we can bullet time Crippling Cloud, Strike, and also just play those cards this turn. It's kind of awkward. I wish we had some discard. Yeah, if we keep the Piercing Wails and Master of Strategy plus either Crippling Cloud or Corpse Explosion. I think that's fine. Because, yeah, I mean, we have to draw these other apparitions. That's the only way we get through the big attack coming up. This guy? Doesn't really matter, right? I'll just get the weak on him. Okay, so we hit the apparition. We don't have any block in hand, so this could be the turn where we end up using Colorless Potion to heal back some of this Beat of Death damage. We can just apparition though, and we'll only take 1 damage from Beat of Death, so not a big deal. Okay, we're almost at the damage cap just with poison. Yeah, After Image, yeah, is blocked, but I wanted to get the rest of the poison up. Okay, so this turn's pretty free, and the fight is basically over. Oh, we take 2. Oh, no, we don't. Orichalcum. Nice. All right. Let's see what we could have had the whole time. Was it Apotheosis? It was not. It was the bomb, though. Yeah. GG. Another win tonight. That one ended up going long, mostly because I'm super tired. Yeah, I think taking the time to... So in Act 2, we avoided an Elite to get the 3rd Apparition upgraded, and I think that was absolutely the right call. The Apparition's Runic Pyramid made that hard fight pretty trivial. Good fight nonetheless. Nothing compared to my Infinite Hologram run, the one before this. Somewhere around the one before this. But that's okay. The Whale Sleeps. Run history. 39 card deck. I think that was one of the issues, like maybe one of the only reasons why we had issues on the Bird with Arms fight and the Heart fight, kind of the Elites. I mean, none of them were... We didn't really have to take any risks. We just kind of played somewhat correctly. Maybe I made some mistakes here and there, but the deck was good. Even at 39 cards, we were able to cycle through to the stuff that we needed with the bottled bullet time, which I think was absolutely the correct call. Especially, we didn't know this at the time, but we ended up picking up the Bag of Prep. So 9 cards on turn 1 with a bottled bullet time. It's pretty easy. Atlas should probably be like a 3-cost card. Well, I don't know about that. It's good. We had 3 catalysts, though, to make that work in a 39-card deck. It's not like we just had 1. So I agree that things like Burst Catalysts make a lot of fights very easy. But, you know, Catalyst has a condition. You have to have poison applied before it actually does anything. So sometimes it's just a dead card. And I don't know, like if you think about... Oh, it was the run before this, right? Yeah, it was the run before this where I actually picked up... Was it this one? I don't remember. I picked up a Catalyst before we got any poison. Was it this run? It was this run. I cannot believe that was the same run. We picked up a Catalyst like less than floor 10 and with no poison in the deck and made it work basically just because the card was that good. But that's usually a bad idea. I was kind of memeing a little bit. It ended up working out.